ever.
James.
Ever.
100%.
We had two faculty candidates in the office today.
Two what?
Two separate positions that we're hiring for.
Oh, right.
So I was managing
The interviews.
two different people.
Did you know you
all
were going to
day.
do that so you didn't have to like do your regular work too? And
Oh
then
no,
also that?
I got to do both.
They're assigned duties.
Got to multitask today.
Okay, welcome everyone to Willamette Inclusivity Ad Hoc Committee meeting for April 23rd, 2024. It is 5:32 and we will begin by taking attendance. We'll just go around the rooms.
Roseberger.
Jane Sherwood.
Christopher McMorrin.
Chris Workman.
Lori Lehman.
Amanda Polly.
No one online.
We will, next is to go to the approval of our minutes from March 26th.
The only thing I noticed was just Lori Lehman's name
Yeah,
has an E in it.
agree.
It should just be Auri.
And I believe Nora was on Zoom
Oh, sure. Okay. Good
as
catch.
well.
I forgot about that.
And then also, like Caesar, was that the one that had Caesar? So like the letters were transposed in that.
What?
And Llama has two. Is that where the minutes?
Oh yeah, llama's spelled wrong.
And Caesar should be AE.
AESAR.
That's right.
Okay, I believe you.
You don't have to spell check it, it's okay.
You are the spell checker.
I kind of do.
Where's Caesar?
It's on line 1 of the page 2. Okay.
And then
Anything else?
line 46, I had originally volunteered to help, but then withdrew my volunteering.
46.
Later time.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Hello.
It's
Whole conversation just happened. I understood most of it.
Oh, that car accident I told you about, Chris. Did you hear what happened?
Okay.
Sorry.
No, any other discussion on the minute?
Not that I can.
Then do we have consensus on that? Amazing.
I mean, consensusing or?
We are consenting.
business.
Anyone? Any urgent business?
Moving on to updates and announcements.
We have just a couple things that were passed along after the it went out. Just some shared with the first one is on Wednesday, May 1st at the PHS baseball field. We'll be doing a game honoring Paul Cochran, who the new Veterans Park is named after. So that'll be at 4:15 prior to the PHS versus Newport game, which is at 4:30. Will be a little on-field ceremony, I think. And then Saturday, May 11th, Union Cemetery, there will be the annual sort of Memorial Day / Peace Officers Memorial Day / Armed Forces Day / ship.
What day is that, the
Event.
26th?
It's May 11th.
Oh.
Because it's honoring they sort of round in between all of those different days. So, that will be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Saturday, May 11th at Mount Union Cemetery. And then, on Saturday, May 18th, the 45th annual INA powwow at OSU will happen at Gill Coliseum. I don't have a specific time listed here. I think it's all day. You can look when the grand entrances are and everything, but that is Saturday, May 18th at Gill Coliseum. And then the final update was that the school district is having Ms. Tui Huyen coming to speak to some of their classes on Tuesday, May 14th, in light of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. This was also from Eric Newman with the hope that maybe she could speak before the city council meeting, which is on the 13th. But I guess we have a work session scheduled before the city council meeting on the 13th, so we're not sure that would work. But we still wanted to share that info. I can read the little bio. She escaped Saigon as a Vietnamese refugee back in 1979. She shared her harrowing story of escape and survival living in refugee camps in Indochina before her family received sponsorship to come to the United States. She shared how her family struggled to overcome numerous hardships and eventually achieve U.S. citizenship, and she now works for Portland State University, among other things in the bio. So anyway, that will be happening on Tuesday, May 13th. So we will be meeting, or no, sorry, we won't be meeting that day, but that'll be the day after the city council meets on Monday. So I guess I still think it'd be cool if there was some way to incorporate her with that, but
So Tuesday is the 14th.
Tuesday's the 14th.
sorry, yes, Tuesday, May 14th, after the Monday, May 13th city council meeting. Apologies. So that was just the FYI that came to me, was that that's happening. If anybody is interested, I don't have a specific time, or if there's something that we want to do to try to like lies on the fact that she'll be here. And if we want to try to have some sort of, invite the community to that or talk to the school district or something, I just wanted to put that forward since that was sent. But yeah. Sure.
Or city Facebook?
I mean, I think we need to check with the school district, like if they're doing an assembly, we can't just be inviting random strangers
That
to the
was
school.
my
But,
question.
or if we could then schedule something in the school right after school hours or something if she'll still be around. I guess that's just the question is like, I know we have a lot going on. Is this something we want to pursue? It's coming up in just a couple weeks. Or this can just be a little FYI, this is happening.
Is it a daytime speech for sure? It's not an evening. Something's going on.
This says she's scheduled to return to Philomath to speak with 2 PHS classes
Okay.
again on Tuesday, May 14th.
So
So,
she came last year and spoke to a few classes as
Okay.
well, so she's coming back.
yeah, so I don't have a specific time, but yeah.
Most likely daytime.
Right.
So to clarify, it sounds like it's not open to the public, that specific event.
Right.
And the question is more of, do we want to invite her to the city council meeting or do something else?
Right.
Personally, I think it would be great. I don't have the bandwidth to try to schedule anything, so I guess it would just be, does anyone else have the bandwidth if we think we should pursue this?
And also, is she willing to come for 2 days?
It says in here she will be in town and is available to speak on Monday night, May 13th. So, that's from Eric. I have not talked to anyone besides this email about that, but
It's usually reliable.
yes, yeah.
information.
So that is there.
I have no bandwidth.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tapped out.
I mean, is it possible to do something very like low key in like, I don't, maybe not like an organized talk or something, but like, like a meet and greet or like coffee hour or I don't know, just kind of an informal, she's hanging out in this location if you want to chat with her and you know, whatnot, kind of accessible to the public, but not necessarily like a planned event or something.
Potentially.
I mean, I don't know how valuable that would be.
Neither do I. But it's an idea, so yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I hesitate about something like that would be like the whole compensation question of like if we're not inviting you to speak, then like what does the compensation look like? What does that event type thing look like?
And I will check about compensation, like how much supplemental compensation might be required from us, because it says in this email it says thanks to a Benton County Cultural Coalition grant. That's what's funding her to come to speak with some of the classes. So I don't know if sort of what,
Maybe she'll
you
be
know.
at the museum.
Right. So I don't know, that may already, like her lodging and everything is probably already covered. So yeah. The real question is does anyone want to take the ball with this and try to figure something out?
Is joining online.
Oh. Zena, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. Okay. Um, so, okay. We'll talk to Eric. Those are all the announcements I have. Does anyone else have anything? Yeah.
Yeah, the Oregon Cast Abolition Collective. They're at least some of them are associated with Oregon State University. I don't know if all of them are, but they're having an event this Saturday, April 27th, from 2 to 5 p.m. at Westminster House to celebrate Dr. Ambedkar's Jayanti's 133rd birthday. An afternoon of art, food, and learning, and I can send out that flyer that requests, RSVP is required, it says, but the celebration involves caste abolition and kind of talking more about that and
Tina's trying to get back in.
Can you hear us?
Hey, you guys.
Cool.
Okay. Okay, so moving on then, we'll take a look at our inclusivity calendar and kind of go through a recap from May through August.
And I'll just note, I put it in the agenda item summary, but there was a slight change of plans for Holocaust Remembrance Day. It follows the Hebrew calendar, so it's now in May. So that will be happening, but it is a little later than we originally put on the calendar.
Wait, good job catching that.
That was not me. That was, I think, Jessica mentioned it, and then Ruth Post emailed me, and
Good job, she.
Good catch. And then, so, okay,
sorry,
go ahead.
So I included in the packet the actual calendar, the highlighted months of the one we're talking about. We're just trying to go kind of a certain number of months ahead. So the things we're talking about tonight are the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, social media post. The LGBTQ Pride Month updates are a separate agenda item. So we're just talking about the posts right now. And then we also just need to talk about August. Right now, we have nothing scheduled for August, so just kind of a discussion about what we want to do, if we want to plan something, if we want to, you know, have a month off, whatever you want to do. I need to put something there, even if it's just nothing. So, now, I don't know, Jane, if you want to take the lead or if you don't.
Well, May, we have maybe I can bounce around a little bit. I know that maybe that'll be the second thing. We have a social media post, and Rose has got that under control. Our Pride Month is Rose again.
The Plymouth Pride Collective.
Yes. Yes, I should make a note of that and say that correctly.
Our representative from the floor.
And then our Independence Day social media post is Christopher. And then we need to kind of decide what we're going to do for August. We did have in red farmer's market, maybe information booth,
I love that idea.
a social media post. I think the farmer's market information booth would be fun.
Then to get us started, we have the next attachment in the packet. It's Rose's draft of the PI post, and then on the obverse side is the graphic that was attached. Discuss.
Thank you, Rose.
No problem. It was fun.
The only thing that stood out to me, and I know it's because we switched it last time, I just almost want to switch the first two paragraphs. Just so it starts with Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander Heritage Month is observed. Just because I feel like otherwise, if you're like scrolling on Facebook,
I
and
totally
you,
100%
and
agree.
you say you don't know what it's about, you know, I think you're like, why are we talking about the term AAPI on a
Yeah,
random
I think the structure
post?
should always be that that's
Yeah.
This
first-
is what it is.
this is what we're trying to celebrate.
Or introduction.
Encouraging folks to celebrate rather or acknowledge, and
Yeah.
then the description of it in the second paragraph.
Okay. One.
There's on anywhere that we have AAPI, I think we need to have it needs to be spelled out first and then have parentheses. I was like, what's that grammar
Do you
term?
think we could do that with the first?
Right. The
Yeah,
second.
you just
sentence.
Oh,
do that.
totally.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
think
so
that
the second, great idea. So the second paragraph then now will be the second paragraph, and then it'll say, perfect.
So after Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander, so AAPI
Yeah.
Heritage Month.
Thoughts?
No, I think this
Okay. And we're good with the graphic?
is, that's gonna get posted on social media, these two together.
Yeah.
So does that mean that, sorry, does that mean that I don't need to come up and continue to come up with the graphics that I've been doing?
Sorry, we couldn't
I met
quite
with,
hear you.
I met. Does that mean that I no longer need to finish the graphics that I've been working on for the last 2 or 3 events? I met with Diane, I don't know, last week, and I started
Zena, we can't really make out what you're saying, Zena. Sorry.
I think you're confusing the banners with the social media posts. You were gonna do the graphics on the banners.
What I'm asking, is that better?
Way better.
Much
Yeah.
better. Thank you.
What I'm asking is, does that mean that I should just scrap all the work that I've already done for these months since I've been coming up with the banners? I met with,
No, that's wonderful. The banners are separate from the social media posts. We're just talking
Okay.
about what we're
Great.
on Facebook. Yeah, thank you. Good clarification. Any further thoughts? Thank you, Rose. Then, as you can see, I made a very short Independence Day post. So,
I'm wondering, do we want to say Happy 4th of July or do we want to say Happy Independence Day?
yeah, we could change that. That's fine.
I always think it should be Independence Day.
Okay. Should I change the graphic then too?
No, because I think if we say Happy Independence Day and then
Okay.
that can.
I prefer the 4th of July, but obviously a lot of us were not actually free at that time. So, but that's me. Independence Day, whatever.
Because it's
I know.
technical.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I really appreciate the last sentence because it's only 2 sentences if you don't count the celebration part. Just reaffirming the commitment to the promise that we've never fully lived up to and we're still fighting for. And I had a quick question. The words on the back, is that like what's on the statue?
That's the poem on the Statue of Liberty.
I meant to look it up and then I forgot. Cool beans. Looks great.
Thanks.
And it says City of Philomath underneath there?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to make it,
Personalized.
yeah, not just.
It doesn't say that on the
Not
Statue
on the
of
Canva
Liberty.
template.
Great for
Well, you know, if you wanted to make that more,
It looks more prominent on my screen. But
Okay, fair enough.
The digital version is much easier to read.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yes, that is what it says if you squint.
thanks for doing this, Chris.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? Okay. And Jane, I don't mean to capitalize. If you ever want to
That's okay. We're
chime
good.
in,
We're good.
Okay. Then next up, we have the Inclusivity Proclamation.
We want to talk about August?
Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, we sure do. August.
Looking
What
through that packet.
Month.
I know.
Oh, I'm wondering if we adopting this age-friendly communities as a proclamation?
You're thinking of that for
Can we do
August?
that for August?
Oh.
Just throwing it out there as a suggestion.
We could. I started working on the proclamation as I started putting all of this together as a presentation kind of thing. But over the past couple of weeks, I've been looking at other city proclamations and seeing what other towns and places are putting together, and sort of reading them, kind of came up with a rough draft of our own, so to speak. I don't want to, I can jump ahead, but I was talking to Carmel Snyder. She is a director of the AARP, Director of Community Outreach and Advocacy. She was going through town last week and gave me a call and said my name kept popping up on her desk, and she said,
That's a good thing.
I'm like, okay, why? I keep calling. So we met at the coffee shop and sat there for a couple of hours chatting about getting started and all kinds of information. So I have a whole list of things I can go through, but basically our next step is to have our mayor kind of come up with a letter approving the idea of our community joining the AARP network. And then once we have network approval, then we have access to all of the information that's out there across the country. We can pull from and grow to write our plan, our community plan, and go forth with that.
So do we want to just put that as a possibility? Because do we have to decide on August today?
I guess that's like, does it hurt that effort if we do the proclamation in August, or do they need it? Like, does that?
Well, I think if we have the proclamation, I think that will help us with, the mayor, it may be easier for the mayor to write us a letter saying that we're interested in joining the network if we have a proclamation in hand or a start of a proclamation. So it might be a helpful bit of information on our way. So I guess I would have to see if I can get an appointment to chat with the mayor about that. I don't know how to do those things, but we'll figure that out.
Christopher will have his ear,
I will.
because they're going to a,
Yes, we'll be
Yeah.
trapped inside together for a couple of days.
Yeah, we can do that.
But I guess the question is, so would you prefer to have it before August?
what's the
The
it?
The
proclamation.
proclamation, yeah.
I mean, I don't think we necessarily need to put like a deadline on it. If we finish it beforehand, then we should.
Okay.
And then maybe we could promote it more, like to get to the whole like, well, what are we doing for August kind
Yeah.
of the thing. I don't know. But I think that if we put a deadline to it when sounds like it's going to be like a very lengthy thing, not necessarily the proclamation and the application letter and all that stuff, but more so the project itself. Like,
Sure.
I guess let me ask, if we have the proclamation in August after, some ducks are more in a row, will it harm the process?
No.
So, I mean.
No, it won't. Everybody goes about it in a different way. There's no wrong way, is what she explained. There's no
Okay.
wrong way to do something.
Okay.
So maybe what we can do is at our next meeting, we can include what I have, the rough draft of the proclamation, and then we can add to it and build upon it on our next meeting so that it can be ready to have that meeting.
That seems like a good plan. Yeah.
Is there a national or state recognition already on the calendar at some point throughout the year that we should be honing in with, like we've done on the others, or?
AARP Day.
I don't know.
I think
So if there's like a senior awareness
Okay.
Right.
month federally that maybe we
go to the original.
And I just, apparently according to whatever this is,
Okay.
the Office of Disease Prevention and Health Promotion, September is Healthy Aging Month.
Wow, that's almost perfect timing.
Yay!
Right?
Couldn't have planned that better if we tried.
It's a win for the.
Well, or we can do it in
Yes.
August to prepare for September. but
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great.
That
I
sounds
love
good.
when we get work done.
Zena had her.
Oh, yeah, Zena?
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you. Where are we at? Are we talking about the overall proclamation or the healthy aging ARP one?
It's a great question. We skipped ahead a little bit. We are still actually talking about the Inclusivity Calendar, and then specifically for August, we don't have anything yet. So then Lori had the idea of putting the age-friendly communities proclamation that Jane brought forward as something for August. So we've kind of combined multiple agenda items here, but it's a plan that probably will work. And then the other question for August was doing like a farmer's market or the music in the parks, like outreach. Is that something we want to do?
Is there music on that same day? Is that like a full day's worth of?
There's music in the park signups for August 15th and August 25th. And there's, what's it called? Farmer's market, on the 25th and the 15th and the 11th and the 4th. Sorry, I don't know why I went backwards.
What now?
Would we be recruiting members or just kind of
It would just be kind of,
chatting with the public and?
yeah, it's usually just sort of awareness because most people don't know we exist. So basically, I guess for context, the city council is going to have a booth basically every week to kind of talk about different city topics, staffed by a couple city councilors every week. So this would just be that city council booth for one slot, instead of, having like Diane Crocker and Ruth Causey talk about the frolic. It would be some of you all talk about Inclusivity Committee, so it would just be kind of one of the rotating things. But I mean, it looks like in August, no one's signed up for August 25th for the farmer's market, or the 11th, or the 4th. I signed up for August 18th, so I can move that if one of those dates works best.
And there's no way to combine that
What do
table,
you mean?
like to do them both?
City councilor and inclusivity committee.
I mean, we can. I guess what I'm saying is you can sign up for whenever you
Can we
want.
jump in on yours, since
Sure.
you're the co-chair?
Okay, we can do that.
No, I'm just asking because I know that sometimes and you've done those a lot. Sometimes there's a lot of people and sometimes there's no one.
That is true.
To be honest, that's why I like signed up on some of Christopher's dates already. I was like, really, I'll choose this one and this one for now.
Hang with my buddy.
Because I figured it would could turn into
Yeah.
yeah, for whatever day that anyway words.
Okay. I mean, I could just sign up like Inclusivity Committee.
August 18th.
That work, Chris? I just put that as counselor too. Okay.
I just put it in both columns.
Okay.
You say August
On
18th.
which date?
Well, I'm signed up for August 18th right now, but we can move that to a different date if that works better.
That I'm aware of.
Okay.
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 That's
Technically, you're not supposed to be but every 2 weeks, so if you're before or after.
That's true,
we should
yeah.
Maybe try to find a date off committee to meet.
Okay. Well,
Whatever I'm
fine.
signed up for, you can move around.
Yeah, and that's fine because I'm July 28th and then September 15th, so August 18th should be fine for me.
Is that a music in the park or a farmer's market?
It's farmers market. Music in the park would be on August 25th or August 15th if we also want to do one of those. But
And tables and you don't get a lot of traffic. And
Well,
just-
One of,
yeah,
there was
they just
been
go-
you're
Yeah,
listening to music.
yeah, sure. Okay.
farmer's market is all about meandering and
Checking out all the booths.
taking it slow on a weekend.
hot
Timeframe on that?
Sunday.
What is it? It's like 11 to
Cinnamon roll and
Mhm.
strolling through.
You usually split, like someone does the morning and someone does the afternoon.
I would recommend splitting.
You can do it however you
It
want,
gets to be
but
kind of a long time.
there have been many days where I've just sat there and sweated.
Ate your strawberries.
But yeah, so we can figure that out. I mean, that's far enough out. I think we can work on who will be there when at a later date. I guess if everyone just kind of wants to mark,
You think it's the 18th? Is that what you said?
yeah, August 18th is what I've signed us up for. So great.
And can you remind us the time? Is it 9 to?
I'll just look this up.
That was 10 to 3, but
So changed it.
It has.
It says 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
I'd had to there early. So if there's things you want printed out, we could easily go to like 11 by 17 if you wanted a sign or something to put on a board, but there's other stuff to hand out, website like that, just let us know ahead of time. So we can get stuff, staff can help print stuff out, right?
How much heads up do you guys
Accidentally
want
put
for
it as
stuff?
PM.
I like the week before is fine, so we do it that week of.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for all of that input. Our Inclusivity Proclamation updates and our discussion. So we have a copy of our original Inclusivity Proclamation in our packet. And then we have 2 updates. The differences or the which we, I think, Jessica, I think yours covers much more area than mine did. I went home, our last meeting, I went home with the idea of trying to fit it all on one page.
I figured.
So I was going one pager, but,
The first one after the original is yours.
yeah, it's the short one.
Gotcha.
Well,
The one pager.
It's the one pager.
And I see Zena's hand up too.
Zena, I'm sorry.
After
Little hand. Go ahead.
after rereading this, I actually think that some of it could be the it could be sort of offensive. I'm finding some of this offensive.
On which one?
The verbiage and we're talking about the resolution proclamation, right? 21 23-15 for that, right?
Are you on there's three, the sort of original one, or there's the original and then there's two drafts. Which one are you looking at?
I'm looking at resolution proclamation, whereas uh like the three commits to the privilege, assurance, philosophy, administration, that one. Strives to be a place of city based on mutual respect and understanding, that one.
That's the original.
The original one.
Yeah. And I mean, just looking at again the terminology used and a lot of the I think we'd already discussed this around around the number 6, around 5, things like that. I think that has to be, I've rewritten a lot of it to be less yeah.
So there are two other changed proclamations in the packet right behind it. The second one starts out, whereas Philomath would like to honor. That is the one that I worked on, and then the 24 sex is the other one that was worked on.
Right. Jessica. So I'm still having a lot of problems with number 5 and what that really means. And then 4 and 5, I think we really that really needs to be rewritten in a different way.
Nina, have you looked at Jessica's draft? Because 4 and 5 are rewritten on that draft. It's the third.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at okay, let me.
It says 24-XX at the top of it.
Okay, let me 24-XX. Okay, here we go.
Very confusing. I get confused. I like printed them out and I was like, are these different or obviously they're different.
While you're looking that over, I'll just take a moment to say that I'm not like particularly married to what I wrote out. I had seen Jane ahead of time, and so I tried to keep the same structure, and like the way I approached it was, this is Jane's version. I'm going to try to keep the same structure and like clarify certain things, and then try to figure. I wasn't quite sure about some of the things that you had written down, so I was like, I think this is what you're trying to say, but I'm not sure. So like very much welcome to like do what people see fit. Anyway.
Zena, go ahead. I see your hand up again. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. At the end of the day, it's kind of, yeah, whatever. I guess, yeah. I think I've said like what I feel about stuff, and yeah, I don't know. It is what it is.
Can I ask? So you mentioned that you had pieces that you had rewritten. Can you give us like a single example of you would have changed, like if you're working on something on your side, like point to something that you don't agree with and like how that would be changed for the better, I guess.
In that one, that the 24-XX one.
Yeah, the 24-XX one I've never seen before and never read before. So I'm just reading that now, but yeah. Anyways, sorry. Here, Atticus. Okay.
We could table this and then come back to it being meeting.
I think this is a good working draft,
Okay.
personally.
Which one?
The
The
24XX.
24-XX.
Yes.
So it's like a secret agent. 24-XX.
It's a good note. I will label the attachments next time.
It is a little confusing.
It is, yeah.
It didn't help that I had the document version that
Right,
you
right.
had, and so then it was just like, okay, copy paste.
But I do just want to thank Jane and Jessica for
Yeah.
the
Yes.
work
Helping
on
us.
these. I love that this is kind of a continuously evolving.
And I think tabling it so, Zena can look more at it, but then kind of going forward with this as the draft. Does that work?
Yeah.
And then also like revisiting the whole like working together with people.
Yeah, I think that's a good call to put that in there for sure.
And as a reminder, this is supposed to be passed again in June by the council. So, I mean, we don't technically have to approve it here until next meeting of the Inclusivity
Right.
Committee. So, if we want to pull it and talk about it next month, and people have another month to get suggestions to me, that's fine. Does that work for everyone? For you?
May.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Okay. So our next line of business was our age-friendly community. So in my discussion with Carmel, so there are no fees to join Age-Friendly Community Network. And I've been talking to people back and forth, so we don't have to worry about it costing us anything. There's no set way to start the process. We can start it any way that works for our community. So we need our resolution from City Council, our letter from the mayor. And I was told not when we start to think about a plan, not to pigeonhole into one particular area of concentration. The people that I talked to said sort of try to keep those 8 domains in focus all the time. And when we start to build a group, try to have someone from those branches in our committee, or so that they can give us feedback and we can talk about whatever will work for those branches in our community. I did ask if we could do something for our music in the park, and it might be music in the park and maybe our farmers market. I asked about having a poster or a big board, big piece of writing paper on a table and posing a question for the community as they're coming up and chatting to write down an idea. So we talked a little bit about what question could you pose, and we said how, at the top of the paper it might read, how can we make Philomath an even better community for everyone? And then people could write a response down, and that's sort of getting the community's ears, the feel for where we're kind of going once we get into the network and then we sort of go. So that sort of was something that we can do ahead of time as well. Doesn't necessarily have to fall in line with making sure we have our letter going out to the mayor or anything. It can be done ahead of time, and that's just getting the community awareness. What do they want to see better in our community? So, Zena?
Yeah, so I actually go around my neighborhood pretty much doing the same thing, and I think it would be great again, to like, it's good for getting a pulse, but then also asking people what they like and what they'd like to see different. Like, so then we get some positive information as well, not just, we want as much data to build those points as possible, so a fuller view.
Yes.
And would we poll an age demographic, or is anyone?
You mean to make a comment?
Yeah, I mean, like, are we asking a certain demographic of folks to?
I don't think I think the focus is everyone because it's age friendly. It's to encompass all of our ages.
Right, because I know a lot of AARP stuff is for seniors.
Mm-hmm.
So
the age friendly is young to old. It embraces all of our ages because they all kind of.
And isn't that what AARP is kind of trying to get away from? Is just for the aged community?
And as our communities age, but we still
Yeah,
our community.
It's an important part for the AARP to do cross-generationally and get away from ageism. And so they've done research and studies. And so if you can make your community as equitable in those areas for everyone, it's better for you'll see the rates of better livability for seniors if you pull from people with disabilities and the like. So they've done a lot of research into that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
And on that note, I unfortunately didn't word anything ahead of time because I didn't read this until right the meeting. And something about life. I think the thing that I would love to see in this proclamation and resolution would be something about like, whereas something recognizing that building a community that's more accessible to people of all ages is like, really I don't know, it's the gateway, but the it's what kind of fuels these conversations about equity and accessibility and
Inclusivity.
Yes, there's the magic word of the committee. So again, not the best wordsmith, but something to that effect.
Okay.
Well, and then just keeping those 8 domains and kind of referencing those also. That's kind of a goal too.
Oh, like to include that in the
yeah, that's good.
That's smart.
Okay. We can certainly work on that. Thank you, everybody, for that. Okay, moving along.
Before I move on,
Okay.
didn't a conversation about previous proclamations that it's good to have a call to action in them? Or am I thinking about that wrong? I'm thinking like, whereas we commit to, like I'm looking for, this is whereas this is why we're talking about this, but then action of committing to what we're committing to.
The way I read it is the action is the supporting in the age-friendly communities network.
And that's also a super draft. Like
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah, it is.
rough.
Right.
If we want to strengthen that, I think that's a good note.
Yeah.
I think this is, the opposite of the 2-page resolution.
It's hatched.
So, we contain multitudes.
I like it.
But yes, but.
That's a good note, yes.
This is our thing for August, so if you have thoughts between now and August, let me know.
Okay.
I did have one thought on that though. So once we do get the, and by we, I mean the group, we, probably you, get that questionnaire, or, whatever, big thing set up. I mean, is it possible to put it out every time the counselors have their tent at, because then, I mean, it doesn't just have to be limited to the Inclusivity Committee. It could be, and then, we can ask folks to just do it once, not just have the same person fill out every time, like it's a new thing, but unless they have something new to say every time. But, that might give us a lot more information than just the couple of times that we're signed up to do it.
Well, thank you everyone for that. That was awesome.
And just to clarify, the last three, there's nothing in the packet for it, just because I didn't have anything when we sent out the packet. But I think Diane Crocker sent some notes, and then we have Zena here. Zena, do you have any updates about the banners and everything, or your meeting with Diane?
Yeah, I picked out several months that things that I'm gonna do. I think I'll be doing we have 7 banners, so I'm working really hard to obviously get the banners that are coming up first. So I'm working right now on finishing off the Pride banner, and then it'll be Pacific Islander, that one, and just going down the list. But I think I have 6 to design, so the work's already begun.
Awesome. Do we have a list of all the ones that you're making? I just want to mark those on the calendar.
Yeah, let me get it.
We should have those on, this.
I had coffee with her, and so let's see. Oh yeah, so I've agreed Asian Pacific American. I think I said I would do June, so that's our Pride. I think April is the Holocaust, and then January is National Poverty and American Awareness Month, and then I said 4th of July. So
So,
I'm working on the ones that are coming, May, but I'm working on getting them. Yeah.
We already have banners that we're gonna reuse on some of the months, right?
Yeah, we have 6 or 7 other banners. We have Women's Day, Black History Month, Women's History.
So February and March.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
In November, right? Because it's veterans.
yeah, we have the special flags for that, I think.
Also, just to, I know that Diane had her friend draft the Poverty in America Awareness Month one already. So I don't know if Zena, if you were planning on.
I met with her Friday or something. So she has not updated me further. We just went over that those are the ones that I'll be doing. And that I'm not stepping on another artist's toes. Oh, okay, sorry. Kids like to walk my dog in my neighborhood.
So yeah, so there are some draft designs for that, but and then the other one is Indigenous Peoples Day. Diane had a couple designs, and the mayor sent them to his contacts when he contacted them about the Indigenous Peoples Day paid holiday and day off of work and school question conversation. I haven't heard anything back from him. Took that over. So.
So let me just make sure I wrote everything down correctly. So Zena, for the API Heritage Month, were you going to do that for this year, for May, or was that a next year thing?
Zena?
She's still.
My information from Diane, she said the Asian and Pacific Islander banner is on the way to graphic artists
Oh, okay.
as we speak.
Okay, great.
On the way to the graphic artist. And then like design.
To make that,
Or maybe Zena's doing the design, and then
Okay.
she's gonna have
Render it.
her friend do the actual.
Okay, so what I have written down for May, Zena will make a banner for API Heritage Month. June, Zena will make a banner for Pride. July, Zena will make a banner for Independence Day. For October, Diane has a draft concept banner for Indigenous Peoples Day. And then for January of 2025, Zena will be designing a banner for Poverty in America Awareness Month. And then we already have an existing banner for February of 2025 for Black and African American Heritage Month. And we have an existing banner for March of 2025 for Women's History Month. And then Zena will be designing a banner for April of 2025 for National Holocaust Remembrance Day, which we should check if that's going to be in April. But am I missing anything? Oh, and then we have a banner existing for Veterans Day.
I think that's what the first ones that I.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hispanic and people. Too?
Yeah.
Oh,
But yes, I will note that we have an existing.
Yeah.
Yes, so that we also have an existing banner for September National Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month for 2024.
I would like to redesign them. Not me personally. I would like it to be redesigned.
Yeah, there was
I support the
conversation about that one.
I won't write that. Do we want a banner? Feels like a lot of banners.
A lot of banners.
But like, should I write down banner?
Question mark, redesign.
I mean, to be honest, like I think that yes, there are a lot of banners, and like I don't want anyone to feel pressured that they need to be done this year or like this next year or whatever. So like if some of these don't get done in time, I think that's fine. Like
And then
able to
Sure.
get AAPI in, and then for whatever reason that like someone like feels stressed about getting Pride done, then like
was there something
it's
about
okay to wait.
was there something about not being able to post them because of the street work too? No.
It was just the Pacific Power is the one doing it for free, and so there's also the like, hey, can you do this on your own time? And then not
I don't
necessarily.
mind asking people to do stuff like that. So.
Maybe that was the hang up for why some of the banners weren't going up when.
Yeah. Zena?
Am I correct? Yeah. Got my hand was raised. So am I correct in thinking that again, I'm making them to be pretty consistent, obviously to fit the parameters of the banner that we already have, but that I can just create these. And since I guess we're on the weird subcommittee, I don't know if it's a subcommittee, Diane and I, that I can just bring them to you and go ahead. Because there's so many that I'm doing. I normally do about 8 to 20 different takes on one, but since we have so many banners, I can't just keep bringing them back. If we have this get it done in a year or whatever. Does that make sense?
I think so.
If I'm recalling correctly, when Diane proposed this, that it wasn't going to be 12 banners in 12 months. It was going to be like
Yeah.
6 1 years
Yeah.
or breakdown of less, so that we're not expecting an entire 12 months.
And that's what I was trying to get at. So thank you for saying that in a better way.
But Zena, I think your question is mostly about like how does the review and approval process go for this? Is that right?
Because it takes a lot of time to design the banner, and then like what we've been running into before, which is just exhausting that other artist. We can't, like, I can do logos, I can do banners, I just can't keep bringing them back, if that
I
makes
think,
sense.
yeah, I
And
think
over
that's, sorry, yeah.
over and over again, if there's so many that are, we want to get done.
Yeah, I think that's why we made the subcommittee, so you and Diane can kind of do that on your own, and then once you have kind of what you two are happy with as a final draft, then we can talk about it at our meetings, but single iteration.
And Zena, do we want to just maybe talk about, like Jessica was just saying, and Rose, that we don't need to have 12 to start with, so maybe you don't need to get stressed out about doing so many in a row if that doesn't work out on your timeline.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that? Like just doing
No.
not.
I wouldn't have taken some of them on, like, I'm just doing them in a row. And so this is like, I agreed to this, and it's something that I can do. I just can't, again, keep coming back with so many iterations. That's all.
Great.
Okay. Perfect. Any final discussion of the banners?
Okay, thank you for all the information and input for the banners. And let's take a look at our Pride event.
We are chugging right along. I had a conversation with someone from Benton County Mental Health about them adopting the Zen Den. The last conversation I had with them, they were going to take that to their director folks and get the approval. April is Mental Health Month, or Mental Health Awareness Month, so they've got money to spend. I don't want to say officially, but the vibes I got were good, that they're like, I think we can do this. I also know collectively within the Philomath Pride Collective, we have many friends that work for Benton County Mental Health. So even if they officially aren't there, we can probably get our friends to the banner. I came in early and talked to Chris a little bit about the Cahoots training. I keep on calling it the Cahoots training, and I'm going to try and call it the Whitebird Clinic training, because that's what it really is. So Chris and I were talking, back in March when I had talked to the Whitebird Clinic, we had talked about May 4th being the training day. That's a Saturday. Looking at it the last week of April, I don't think it's a good idea to try and push for the 4th. I think we should give ourselves more time, not only to promote the training, but also recruit more for the safety team. And Chris and I have the same understanding that we're going to open it up to any city staff or volunteers who also want to do that, like for Frolic, like other events.
Just be open to anything.
Okay. So thinking of maybe late May, but that's right around Memorial Day, so thinking early June for training. So Chris and I will work on that. Sweet. Amanda and I are working on a registration form to communicate to not only the Inclusivity Committee, but to the community about what we are looking for as far as the steering committee, and then our day of volunteer needs. And then this weekend, Jessica and I are going to be going through all of the existing supplies from the previous events. And then from there, we'll be able to develop a wish list so we can clearly communicate what we're looking for as far as supplies. In a general ask, yard games are a big one that we're looking for.
And someone to be there to
Well, we didn't have large games last year, but the first year it was really, we set them out and people just played as they wanted to. It wasn't super supervised. We had found a donor for the bounce house. There was some complications with insurance. The bounce house is a no-go for this year. What else am I missing? I don't need to get that on the calendar, so I will communicate with Christopher about the next Philomath Pride Collective meeting, so that you can tell the rest of the Inclusivity Committee.
And also, Zena, your hand is still up. Was
It
that
is.
for this, or was that? Did you just leave that up?
No, half the time it keeps my hand up, and then half of it, it's just been like, raise your hand. So, did that work? There.
Yes, there we go. And one other little update, probably for next year, was that we're looking at maybe housing Pride in a nonprofit, so that there's a little more structure as far as things like insurance and financials and everything. But we talked about just for logistics, we don't necessarily want to try to do all that this year. That's what Rose and Co felt was probably easiest, but we will try to do that after this year, I think. So
That's a consensus I've heard from other Pride event planners, is that you find if you're too small to create a nonprofit for yourself, you find a nonprofit they can be sponsor for, you get access to their insurance, you get access to
We
make
sponsor
money,
events
that sort of thing.
as a nonprofit. We have sponsored things.
Strengthening River Flam?
yeah, got the whole squad out here.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much.
Sorry. I did one more thing. I forgot. It was written in a different section. Philomath Pride Collective got invited to table at a community event. It's the Benton County Mental Health is putting on Benton County Youth Suicide Prevention Coalition. It's at C3, so Corvallis Community Center, on May 25th, which is a Saturday. Inclusivity Committee, definitely, if you guys want to buddy up with us and be at that table and have some information, I think that would be amazing. I've talked to the collective about it and we're down, so we'll be there. And if you guys want to join us, come on down. I will have flyers. Last time I talked to the coordinator, they were finalizing their flyers. So once I get that done, I'll send you it, Chris. Jennifer.
What was the time?
That is a good question.
Or you can send that.
May 25th.
It's on the internet.
That's the interwebs.
The www.
Oh.
Okay, I'll just put it as a and then we'll see what happens. That sounds right. Okay, perfect. Anything else?
Okay.
Then the last thing on our agenda.
The last thing on the agenda is looking out at our large audience for the next round of co-chair, or as I call it, the co-chair. Co-chair.
And yeah, just to clarify, you just picked me, so you stuck with me. But Jane has been doing this for several months, and I think wouldn't mind a break. And we had previously discussed kind of doing these 3-month runs, but Jane's done it for 4.
This is 4.
Yeah, so I mean,
Not that you're
Working on a double time here.
so just see, there you go. 4 more months. 4 months. But yes,
I will volunteer. I don't know what that entails, and I apologize
In
for
advance.
any non-structure that my 5:30 p.m. ADHD brain brings to this committee, but I'll do it with enthusiasm.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
You're so welcome.
All it involves really is you and I will probably call or meet up or Zoom or something beforehand and just kind of discuss and then send documents to repost and then
Perfect.
so
Beautiful.
Sounds good.
any other discussion / any requests for agenda items next time that we haven't already talked about?
We do the survey thing about the DEI training.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay, I can create some questions, and then Chris, I don't know if you got from the trainer or if you were able to.
Oh, yeah, about getting the feedback stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't think I heard back. Let me follow up and see. That might have got lost in my email, but I'm pretty sure I asked.
I thought I'd like write out some pointed questions as well, and then send it out to. I guess to Chris, I don't know if do you have a list of who was all there to be able to send that to?
Maybe. I have a folder on it.
Well, if anything, at least the council members.
Okay. Any other requests for next time? All right. Do you want to adjourn your final?
So our next meeting then will be May 28th at 5:30. And if we have no other business, our meeting is adjourned.
So early.
Look at that.